Narcissists are drug addicts, and they want you to become an addict as well. And the drug they're selling you is this one here. But what they're really selling you is a pipe dream. But the way they go about doing things, by starting out with the love bombing, is to get you addicted to the release of endorphins and these kind of positive hormones and that give you a kind of a high, so that they need to start. It's very important that they start with the love bombing, because they have to have a base to go back to. They have to give you a point of reference to go back to of when things were good, so that you always have a base to return to and something to long for. I think I mentioned maybe in other videos, I thought that they might stop doing the love bombing, because I think it's kind of a dead giveaway at this point for narcissists. So, in other words, I kind of thought they might try to just stop doing that, because people are picking up on it, and a lot of people obviously are making videos and things like that. So people are more aware of it, so I thought maybe they may try to switch tactics and maybe just like skip that tactic. But I mean, that's kind of the most important part of the process, if you notice, because they have to give you a point of reference of when things were good to go back to. Otherwise, the whole schemes and operation doesn't work as good, because if you don't have anything positive to go back to, it's harder to keep you hooked and string you along. But those endorphins and that high that is released in the beginning stages will keep you addicted. It's like a drug addict just longing for another high. And in this way, they can string people along so that people will think that things can at some point go back to this kind of fairy tale stage when things were so wonderful and great. But if they skip the love bombing stage altogether, there is no point of reference for the drug addict to go back to. There's nothing positive for them to look forward to, like, oh, it can get back to that, we'll get back to everything was so great, we'll do counseling, and then it'll go back to the love bombing stage, we'll try this and we'll try that. They need to do the love bombing stage in order to get you addicted and string you along. So narcissists are addicts in that they are addicted to narcissistic supply, and they want to turn you into an addict in that you get addicted to them and their love bombing stage, so that they have a kind of an inbuilt supply from you. By keeping you addicted to them, they have their needs met as well. So it's kind of this weird, sick, twisted, vicious cycle to where, in many ways, you both can become dependent on each other. That's why they call it codependency. But, it's almost like they're using their own psychology and trying to transfer it onto you. I mean, like most of us, okay, can function without, we don't need narcissistic supply. We don't need to be scavenging around every day looking for crack on the ground like a crack addict. You know, we don't need to be looking for a drug every day. Some people, yes, are true codependents, but generally we can exist without supply. We don't need constant validation and things of that nature. I mean, everyone needs love, everyone needs attention on some level, but we're not going to literally fall apart without it. People operate in general better when they have a strong support system, and that's just natural, but we're not going to literally shrivel up and die if we don't have it like a narcissist will. And that's part of their hatred for empaths. They don't like the fact that we can exist on our own. They don't like our strength. They can't comprehend that we can just be content. You know, they don't understand it. Like when they see our joy and our happiness, and we don't need constant validation. We don't need to constantly be in a relationship. They don't understand it, and I think that's part of the envy and the hatred, is that they just don't understand that we could just have joy internally and not need it from an external source. So anyway, they want to get you addicted to these endorphins and these positive hormones that are being released, and so therefore you're constantly trying to get back that high that was released in the beginning, and that keeps you attached to them. And so they know that that stage, that love bombing phase, is extremely important to get you addicted to them, and so that they can constantly have you longing to get back to that, even though they know that it's never going to return to that. That was just to draw you in, and so that the abuse could then get started. And it, you know, it wasn't real to begin with. So narcissists are drug addicts, and they want to turn you into an addict as well.